Hello there, and welcome back to Duck Talks. Yes, it's been a while, and this is Duck Talks 78. And today we will have a look back at 2020, but not just, at Corona, but more importantly about War Thunder and in particular my community. So, yeah, there is my community with my channel, War Thunder itself, then also my new PC. I just want to mention it because it also has changed. And then there's also a squadron that was kind of inspired by me, and I want to share this information with you as well. And at the end, obviously, we have some questions from the Duck Talks from the last episode, which is over 2 months ago. Yes, I know, it's been a while. As usual, one of you can earn himself or herself a pinned post if you make the timestamps for me. So let's go right into the topics. So let's start with the community part, and this is where one exciting thing happened. If you're not already aware of it, I founded a Discord and everybody is happily invited. You'll find the link in the video description down below. And that was actually the first time that I realized how many people out there that are part of my community, because a subscriber count is a very abstract number. It's just a number that hopefully grow steadily for every YouTuber. But to get into contact with the people themselves is quite amazing. And so we already have nearly 1,000 Discord members. Again, everybody is invited. Just join. Don't be shy, just have a good time, and I am there and play with people on a regular basis, nearly a daily basis. You can ask me everything, I'm up for discussions, etc. And also you find also very interesting people that also, believe it or not, like to play War Thunder and other games. And you will find enough people to play ships, tanks, planes, and even helicopters. And I think it's amazing. I never really played as much in with people as I did this year, and to be honest, it showed me another side of War Thunder. The actual teamwork when you go for tasks, when you really go for victories, when you try to work together, call out targets, warn each other. It is actually fun, believe it or not. And I can happily recommend you to join us and to also see the fun side of War Thunder, believe it or not. Then there is also my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel has breached over 1,400 videos with over 10 million views in general, which is an absurd number. That is really an absurd number. And also the channel has breached 30,000 subscribers with a really intense growth in the, I think it was in the September, October, where the dev blogs came around, and there was quite a lot of interesting stuff to play. This is where I had a very intense growth, and that was quite frightening actually where this would lead, but it was really entertaining and cool. So you can see my channel is gladly not dead yet. And that brings us then to War Thunder. So War Thunder itself was actually also a very interesting thing, obviously, because this channel is around War Thunder. And those are the things that happened in War Thunder. So at the beginning of the year, I was getting into the Swedish tech tree grind even more so. It was, released like over a year ago. So I still had some grinding to do. I enjoyed the planes and the tanks, and I also then, when it comes to War Thunder and my channel, I also began to feature some of your replays, which I'm still waiting for hot contenders. Again, information in the video description down below. And I learned to see War Thunder from a new perspective. There are a lot of very skilled players out there and other content creators, and to see how they play, what kind of other situations and positions they use in their tanks, other tactics in their planes, etc. It is really great to see this, and some of those replays were absolutely outstanding when just things come together with games that you just dream to have. And I learned quite a bit myself. So that is also another thing. I also played at the beginning of the year with Flight 80, a couple of games. That was also fun. And yeah, congrats to you, Flight 80, if you're watching this, to 1 million subscribers. That is also just insane. That's more than 30 times my channel size, which I just can't imagine. But anyway, we also had the tech tree discussion of the Hungarian tech tree. And, that was a project that was very interesting. And then obviously when it comes to War Thunder with Naval Forces, the introduction of the battleships was not just huge but also controversial. And for all of its flaws, there is one aspect that I love about the battleships in War Thunder, and this is the scaling the field to them. Brushing aside all of the balancing issues that we undoubtedly have, the grind, etc., the ships themselves look absolutely fantastic. And this brings me now to the third topic, and that is my new PC. So my now old PC was really good, a GeForce 1080 that just did the job fine, the processor as well. I could render my videos in reasonable time, the system runs smoothly, and I could play 4K, but not with the highest settings. And sometimes when the PC was running for half a day or so, then it was really struggling at some point, and you just had to reboot it after like 7-8 hours of gaming. But nonetheless, I felt like a step forward was necessary, and I wanted to see more of the game. And fitting together with the new update, 2 updates ago by this time, War Thunder really, turned up the graphics volume, so to speak. And it was just a coincidence. It was planned also from the as early as spring 2020 to upgrade my system. And yeah, basically we came to the conclusion to tune the old system was possible, but not really the next logical step. Since I needed a second capable PC anyway, with just copying the already existing rig around it, a mouse, keyboard, twin screen setup, and the microphone, it all went smoothly. And then I ordered it with the help of my friend Exe, and we just ordered the following: a GeForce RTX 3080, then also an AMD Ryzen 9 3900X 12-core processor, and 32 gigabytes of RAM, together with also the other stuff like a 4K monitor, which is 80 centimeter in diameter, which is really great. And it's an absolute monster machine. War Thunder has gone another level up, because I'm playing at over 100 FPS at full settings, full graphical settings, and the system is running smoothly. The system is just also rendering the videos in 4K now, in a time that the old PC did render videos in full HD. So that is a massive game changer for me, and I absolutely love to play on this PC. I'm not flexing here, but I would not have made this investment into this technique, because it also costs quite a lot of money, if it wouldn't be for my YouTube channel, if it wouldn't be for War Thunder videos. So that is something that I definitely need to point out, as well as then the next part, which is part number 4. A new squadron rises and cleans the sky. The DTTC, Death to the Choppers, or Death to Helicopters, is a new squadron that was actually founded by one of my subscribers, and you can apply to it, but only with a screenshot of you killing a helicopter, because that is the motto of the squadron, Death to Helicopters. It's not about hate, it's not about rage, it just brings balance back to the skies. It's just delivering balance, which Gaijin couldn't. It's helping out your team by swatting those annoying flies out of the sky. And with furious justice, you bring the justice and just kill helicopters, basically. Obviously, helicopter players are forbidden because that would be a traitorous thing. But anyway, it seems like a lot of people got the gag, got the joke, and yeah, again, a link in the video description down below, or some information in the video description down below. So that is it already for 2020, a very interesting year. I spare you with my real life stories, and I think the majority of you are here for War Thunder videos in the first place. However, there is one more topic that I didn't mention before, and this is something that I want you to ask your opinion about, because believe it or not, I still read all the comments. I think that listening to the community, that, you know, with a lot of individuals then making comments from a different perspective is very educational, interesting, and just opens maybe my eyes for certain other topics. There is one problem. In the last few patches, and this has been ever more so intense, I requested a lot of stuff from Gaijin for test driving, you know, but I never felt like I could make videos about it in any way, shape, or form, and that has to do with the question of, would anybody ever be interested in seeing this? Because there is one problem. If I make videos about everything that I'm interested in War Thunder, or for the matter of other games, the average view would drop quite significantly. So from a support perspective from Gaijin, it is actually better to sometimes not make videos at all. And the question is, what are you guys actually interested in content from my channel? Is it purely tanks? Is it purely planes? Or are you here for, God forbid, naval forces? So that is the question. Also, which kind of video do you like? Do you want those hardcore number rundown statistical reviews, or do you want, you know, just the normal rambling over gameplay in the background? Or do you want to see specific matches with the approach to going into this position, etc.? Or do you have an idea for another format that you think is now a bit more up to date to what I did in the last few years? Let me know in the comment section, because that is one of those topics that I'm always interested in. And I think now it comes to me answering some of the questions from the last Duck Talks. The first question comes from Giuseppe Dominguez, and he basically asks for an option to ban small maps at top tier, or in general to vote for player-made custom maps to be introduced into the rotation. Well, first of all, as far as I can tell, there is an option to ban one map in Tank RB at least, and to downvote also 3 others. But I think that's tied to a premium account, which is not an ideal solution. And I have to say that I would love to ban significantly more maps, and I would love to get certain maps significantly more often. And in general, for me personally, I don't really like city fights. There are exceptions like Abandoned Factory, which, you know, it's not technically a city fight, but, you know, fighting in and around buildings. However, I love wide open maps where you use the terrain to get into cover and to also shoot at longer ranges, which especially for top tier feels more natural rather than the knife fight, you know, at like 10 meters distance. And yeah, I think that the majority of people don't really like the map rotation the way that it is, but I think that also a good portion of the community has accepted the way that it is. And there is actually a method if you really cannot stand a map. then tap out of War Thunder and open the task manager and mark War Thunder. And then you go into the queue, and before the map loads, and this is a bit of a interesting thing, if your PC takes like a few seconds to load the map, so before you go into the option to choose your vehicle, when the map has not loaded in, but you see the map preview, you can execute War Thunder with the task manager. And then you can start War Thunder again. Now, if you use a booster, I think the booster is lost, but you will not have a crew lock if you terminate War Thunder quick enough. And that is sadly the only thing how I can deal with the map rotation at times, because getting the same city fight that I have endured 2 or 3 times already for a 4th or a 5th time in a row or in really quick succession, that just kills the fun for me. I would love that the community would speak with one voice, but you always have different opinions. There are people that absolutely love the city fight. There are people that absolutely despise large maps for sometimes good reasons. It also depends on the battle rating. It's a very highly complicated topic, and the community will never speak with one voice, which is a bit of a problem. But at the end of the day, that's just online gaming. I would really advocate for, also a different flavor of new maps, because as far as I can tell, in especially Tank RB, the latest maps have actually all been city fights, which is a bit sad. I know that graphically it looks stunning, it looks more modern, but the combat itself is really suffering because it's just corner shooting, and it's rather down to luck rather than to your own skill, which is a gameplay that I feel is more there, on the old school maps. And when we look at Karelia or similar maps that are played at top tier, they are just frighteningly small, where you basically can shoot from spawn to spawn, which is not a good thing in my opinion. Anyway, let's move on to the next question. Next question comes from Christian Winkler, or in German Christian Winkler. Can you do some videos about cars? I'm a car guy and I love mechanical stuff. That is the reason I got drafted to War Thunder, knowing how the planes, tanks and ships machinery works, and there are differences to use them as an advantage. Cheers. Well, the phase where I was really into cars is a bit over, partially due to the diesel that I drive, and it's one of those cars that is involved in the scandal around Volkswagen, but I still have it, partially because I have no other choice, but that killed a bit my interest in cars. I might do a video on my car at one point when I have free time or something like this, but dedicated videos where I'm just changing tires or something, that's probably not gonna be the case. On other news, if at some point the chance arises, I might do some trips to museums to then just simply make, hopefully I get a close look at certain vehicles after the corona crisis is over. So that will take a sweet amount of time, but that might be the next step. Car videos, rather rarely. Videos on tanks, or maybe some models of them, tanks, ships, planes, whatever, that might be a thing. So surprisingly enough, that's already it with the questions, and therefore also with Dub Talks. Again, if you have a question related about War Thunder, my channel, or anything in that aspect, just feel free to ask the question in the comment section down below. Just enter #question and then ask your question so I can find the questions more easily. So, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if it, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other in the skies, on the battlefields, and on the waves of War Thunder.